There's so many fighting games that I've apparently played for hours that I can't tell you a thing about. I have played 20 hours of King of Fighters 15. I cannot even tell you the name of the space opera Attack on Titan guy on the cover. By the nature of being a genre that's pretty hard, knowledge heavy, and extremely unintuitive to me, these games can go right through my skull like the nagging wife to the Brexit geezer. One of those games being BlazBlue. According to Steam, I have a combined total of, and I can hardly believe this, 80 hours across all of the games. I have all the games? Yet, despite that time, nothing. Literally nothing. Okay, not literally nothing. I know Arakune is for degenerates, Kokonoe was broken at one point in time, something. Body pillows. I also know that people love and hate this game in the same manner as the Guilty Gears that I like, and that people want me to give this game a shot based on my appreciation of movement, weird character designs, and the whole anime shebang, so long as we exclude the anime aesthetic, voice acting, and most of all, the insufferable fandom. But I get it, I was a teenager once, you'll learn to love a cheeky pint when you realize that most of this shit sucks, but not ping pong was so good that I own the manga. Based on recommendations, it was about time that I give myself about a week to learn myself some BB and find out if it was something worth ruining my already low social standing for. However, before we go any further, we need some XD Everything app style context. I am currently in a bit of a crash out era when it comes to fighting games. It's normal to feel a bit burnt out on a topic once a major video is finished, and this time it was delayed until January, and hit heavy. I saw Venom got delayed in Strive and I couldn't help but think, I don't care, stop showing me gear for the third month straight! So admittedly, I'm probably not going to be as positive as I'd otherwise liked. Okay. Before, when I was playing BB, my go-to was Kagura. I'm not quite sure why, something tells me that I hit jump C and pulled a Danny DeVito. From what I remembered, I knew that I didn't like the fact that most of his specials were locked behind his drive button. It might only seem like a little thing, and it kind of is. Stances just put me off massively, even if you almost never see them since you snap in and out of them so fast. So the first thing that I did was experiment a little. I wanted a mobile character who can do some zoning with an interesting projectile, and retaining some source for some strong mix-up options, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Assuming you're familiar with BB, it might not surprise you that I landed on Rachel, and when you know it, I dropped her instantly. BB characters are weird, and I mean like all of them. Rachel is a very cool character with a projectile that can be influenced by wind shenanigans. This makes for an option that's extremely versatile and hard to deal with without being a straight up beam or tracking option. However, that's offset by some stubby normals and finicky combo routes that ask you to really understand exactly what your opponent can do and where they can be, which quite frankly as a beginner is a hard ask when there's 36 characters and you're already running on fighting game fumes. Add to that what felt like having to learn a lot of routes as opposed to one or two reliable routes, and I felt completely out of my depth. Maybe one day, but certainly not today. That led me to going through the rest of the cast and come to my first issue with BB. None of these characters feel like they're for me. They're cool, at least in terms of gameplay. Aesthetically, I hate just about every single one of them. When I pair them up against what I want though, they run up against some red flags that I forget that I have. Overly complicated, lab monsters, too plain, the routes are too long, so instead of looking for a perfect character, I boiled down everything to high mobility and simple but effective routes. I'm here for a good time, not a long time after all. I was surprised to find some of the characters that visually seemed up my alley didn't fit that bill. Susanoo has always been billed to me as a kind of hold forward steamroller, and while that might be true, the startup on his forward dash threw me off immediately. Same with Azrael, who is one of the few characters who are up my alley visually, but the dash put me off instantly. Valk, extremely cool, bonus points for being an old man. Look at those combo routes, however, and you sent me reeling like it was Monster Hunter 1. After tumbling my way through literally all of the characters that appealed to me visually, I started rolling around the characters that I couldn't stand the look of, and ended up settling on Captain Attack on Titan. Now this is a huge compromise, and having played a bit more, I'm thinking that maybe with these qualifiers I should have picked up Hazama or Yuki. Don't talk about Ragnar, look at this fucking notation, I'm terrified. After about an hour of tool searching though, I just wanted to lock in a character and get going. Learned the babiest of baby combos, and hit the bricks. The first couple of hours was me trying to get my head out of the XR'd expectations. I kept trying to tap tech out of combos, which led to me seeing a ton of the blue numbers and thinking to myself, this combo ends now, before getting hit by another 2 to 3 seconds of combo, driving me insane. I don't like how long the combos are in this game, both on the receiving end of the optimized stuff and the doing side of the unoptimized stuff. There's a distant gnawing that I want it to be my time to make choices again whenever I'm in a combo. That's an emotion that's inherent to fighting games in some regard, a skill issue to talk to your fighting game therapist about. When the combo extends beyond what I'm expecting, there is a much more practical problem that props up in regards to aligning myself with the pace of the match. When am I actionable again? Without an understanding of how long a combo can be, I can struggle to get my brain in and out of preemptive decision-making and reactive decision-making. It's like trying to establish a sense of rhythm with a metronome that's offbeat. In trying to shake off the XR'd expectations, this led to a lot of frustration, having to take the game match by match, but the tilt from being punished for longer than I was used to, making it hard for me to really appreciate any particular interaction. A shame, considering BB has something that I think makes interactions very interesting. Recovering from a combo in this game holds some element of choice, air techs that give you a more conventional getup, and rolling around on the floor. At first this drove me mildly insane, again thanks to my own expectations. Someone being able to roll around and have ground options, along with being able to be hit OTG, makes my brain shift into Tekken mode. Options that provide a degree of safety as the person defending, while giving the person pressing an immediate ability to put you in block stun once you've made your choice. In the anime dimension, I shouldn't have expected this to act the same. Get-ups here have a bit of invincibility, so just putting a hitbox on top of someone doesn't guarantee a meaty. You have to time it with their specific get-up option to not whiff. I love it. Even as someone who enjoys the XR'd idea of, listen bud, you just have to hold it. This slight degree of choice makes me have to think more actively about my offense, while also providing me a very good reason to not instantly tech out of every situation, since I might want to get a bit of a, roll forward going. If it's anything like what I imagine, as the levels go up and up, you'd have option selects and layers to the wake-up scenario that make interactions that feel like an autopilot at my level, active calculations at a higher level. Communicating it could have been a little bit clearer, I feel. Something about this bounce to me says that I'm currently active rather than invincible but unable to make a choice until I land. If there's anything that I'm gonna stick around for, it's gonna be this. Maybe the nuance of this eventually gets optimized out and I'll be left with a big SAD in my brain and a desk with a few extra holes. For now though, this universal system has me interested in getting comboed, which makes losing at the very least interesting, even if I still end up salty by the end of it. And believe me, I've been losing. Now, I'm not going to say that I was going 0-10 with a big old smile on my face. I felt a crash out most fierce on Wednesday. When I said a game has to be fun to lose to be any good though, I meant it. And quite frankly, at first it was a bit of a coin flip at times whether that was the case. Playing over the internet with an average of 200 ping, because apparently this just isn't a European game, there were a lot of situations that had me contemplating the wobbly stool and rope stool. Sometimes it was buttons that weren't very good but engulfing the screen, and wondering if there was some rollback at play that made the button seem faster than it was, or I'm trading poorly. Other times it was seeing options that left me utterly confused as to how I was supposed to interpret the player intention, and feeling as if I was missing some kind of very important information. It wasn't exactly getting trapped in knowledge checks, more I would never have expected that character to do that all of a sudden. Overwhelmed by a sense of unintuitiveness as to what each character can do, I shouldn't be surprised that the first couple of days I couldn't help but think this game's full of bullshit, and not in an endearing way. Coming towards the end though, and now having found my footing a little bit more, I like 99% of the characters that I played against. Even when I was getting stomped, I couldn't help but think I was always 1 or 2 mental clicks away from winning an interaction and getting in my opponent's head. And come the end of the week, I could feel that wandering sense of intentionality that had me and my opponent actually playing BlazBlue instead of that anime punching bag. I can firmly say I liked my time with BlazBlue. Things that irk me still, like the late 2000s character design, haven't gotten in the way of me finding a decent amount of fun once I've finally had a feel for the limits of my opponent's character. And considering I'm in a period where fighting games have me teetering over the edge of my sanity, I'd consider that an achievement. Am I gonna play it more? Right now? Absolutely not. Will I play it more when I feel the itch to pick up the stick? I think I just might. When the character's snappy and you can shift them into gear like a well-worn Fiat 500, there's a nice sense that you're towing the line between a steam train and a submarine by Ocean Gate. I've got no doubt that there's more to get frustrated at. The fact that popping whatever this is provides brief invincibility and removes the opponent's ability to burst seems like it's gonna catch up to controller breaking real fast. At the same time, I've got no doubt that there's more to adore, and considering I'd say I had fun even in my Crash Out era, there's clearly something fantastic at play, if not something special. Maybe one day I'll even love it. And love you, very clearly Brazilian Wi-Fi Mai. But not you, viewer. We're not doing any of that parasocial shit. Alright, video's done now.